Alright, Salaki about that, everybody. Okay, Salaki is back up again. Salaki, I don't know what happened there. Salaki about that. Okay. Alright, Salaki. So now, like I said, this is your Y. Alright, this is your Y in the Assyrian. This is how you would say it in the English, your Y. This is the number 6. So your Y has a numeric value of the number 6. Alright, so your Y has a numeric value of the number 6. Shasha is how you would say 6. So Shasha. Alright, so Shasha is how you would say 6. Alright, Shasha is how you would say the number 6. Correct. All right, let's get it. Let's get the next one. Remember, if you have any questions, you can put into the live chat for me. So next we're going to get is the number 7. It's a lucky. Salakia. Hopefully that wasn't the only time I did. Hopefully this was the only time I did that, and I'm just catching it. Hopefully that's not the case. If y'all see me mixing Paleo and Assyrian together, please let me know. Especially if I don't catch it. Alright. So what we have on the board now is the letter Za. So this is the letter Za. This is what your Za remotely looks like in the Paleo. Alright? I mean in the Assyrian, Salaki. This is what your Za remotely looks like in the Assyrian. So that's what your Za looks like. Alright? This is how it's pronounced in the English. Za. Your Za has a numeric value with number 7. That's why the number 7 is there. So your Za has a numeric value with number 7. Alright, to say the number 7 in the Hebrew is Shabbai. It's pronounced Shabbai, Shabbai. Alright, which is number 7. This is your Shah, this is your Ba, this is your I. Alright, in the Assyrian. This is your Shah, this is your Ba, this is your I in the Paleo. Alright, you put together the Shabbai, which is the number 7, Shabbai. Right, Shabbai. Alright, Shabbai is the number 7. Shabbai. 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 Alright, it's how you say the number 7. If you want to remember it that way, there's a way to remember it. How I remember it, Shabbai, it sounds remotely close to Shabbat. And the Sabbath, or the Shabbat, is on the 7th day. Shabbai is the number 7. That's how I remember it. You guys don't have to use that specific method, but that's how I remember. Alright, Shabbai. That's how I remember Shabbai. So now remember as well, these letters in our alphabet have numeric values. So like I said, think about it as this is like algebra, like math. Alright, think about it as algebra. This is your variable. Your variable is the letter Za, right? Well, your variable has a numeric value to 7. Alright? So think about it that way. Now, the reason why I want you guys to think about it that way, because later in the lesson, it might not be today. That's why it says part 1. Because part 2, if we get to part 2 today, it involves math. Alright? Part 2 involves math. Alright, this is just learning the numbers and the values of our letters. But the next part involves math. You're going to have to use a little bit of addition here. Alright? So to prepare you guys for that math, I want you guys to get used to these letters being variables and having values to it like algebra. I want you guys to think algebra here. You guys have no choice but to think algebra here because this is a letter. But our letters have numeric values to it. Specifically, Za is the number 7. Right? Coincidentally, Za is the 7th letter in the alphabet. I shouldn't really say coincidentally because this is why we go in order. When we say A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ha, Ta, Ya, Ka, and so on and so forth, it's because those letters go in order, in numeric order, on how it's displayed in the Bible. Like, we didn't make any of this up. This was already here before us. This has already been established before us by our forefathers since Adam. You understand? All right. As early as well, I shouldn't say as early, but as late as Moses. You get my point. So this has been here for quite some time now. Alright, so Shabbai is how you would say the number 7. Alright, Shabbai is how you would say the number 7. So now we got Achad. So Achad is number 1. Shanya is number 2. Shalash is number 3. Arabai is number 4. Hamash is number 5. Shasha is number 6. Shabbai is number 7. So the letter A is Achad. The letter Ba is Shanya. The letter Ga is Shalash. The letter Da is Arabai. The letter Ha is Hamash. The letter Wa is Shasha. And you have the letter Za, which is Shabbai. Alright. Let's get the next one. Alright, the next letter we have on the board. The next letter we have on the board is Cha. The next letter we have on the board is Cha. So this is what your Cha looks like in the Assyrian. Now remember, we're going to be writing in the Assyrian a little more often now. Alright, because the Bible nowadays, the Heat is mostly written in the Assyrian script. Like I said, I love the Paleo to death. I love the ancient to death. If anything, I completely despise the Assyrian script. Alright, but because of our captivities, we have the Assyrian script. Alright, so now the Assyrian script is Cha. Alright, it's your Cha. Alright, this is how you would say Cha. Right, now remember, we need to get used to pronouncing this letter correctly. I'm a real stickler when it comes to this letter. You can ask anyone. You can ask my rib. Ask anyone. Alright? Ask anybody. Cha. Alright? Cha. C-H-A-A. Cha. Your Cha. It's pronounced Cha. It's almost like you're coughing up the loogie. Cha. Cha. Your Cha. Alright, your Cha. So this is the letter Cha. Alright, it has a numeric value of number 8. Right, so your Cha has a numeric value of number 8. Alright, number 8 in the Hebrew is Shamawana. Alright, Shamawana. Sounds kind of weird to say, and it's kind of a long word just for the number 8. But the number 8 is Shamawana. So Shamawana 8. This is your Sha, your Ma, your Wa, your Na, and your Ha. In the Assyrian, this is your Sha, your Ma, your Wa, your Na, your Ha, and the Paleo. You put it together, Shamawana. For class purposes, for watching the video later on, I can't forget to put it at the bottom. Alright, so Shamawana. Shamawana. Alright, Shamawana. So the numeric value for the letter Cha is Shamawana. So the numeric value for Cha is Shamawana. 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 This is number 8. Shamawana. Alright, Shama Wana. Shama Wana. Let's get the next one. Alright, so the next letter we have on the board is your ta. So the next letter we have on the board is your ta. Alright, this is the letter ta. This is what your ta looks like in the Assyrian. Alright, this is what your ta looks like in the Assyrian. This is your ta. Your ta equals, your ta has a numeric value, the number 9. Alright, so the letter ta has a numeric value, the number 9. Alright, so the letter ta has a numeric value, the number 9. To say the number 9 in Hebrew is the shai. Right here, the shai, which is 9. Alright, this is how it's written in the Assyrian. This is your tha, your sha, and your I in the Assyrian. This is your tha, your sha, and then your I in the Paleo. Put it together, that's your the shai. The shai, which is the number 9. The shai is how you would say the number 9. Right? The shai. So your ta has a numeric value, the number 9. Alright? Okay? Your ta has a numeric value, the number 9, which is the shai. The shai is how you would say the number 9. Now remember, this is very important to learn and very important to understand. You do not want to forget these numbers. Because when reading in the Hebrew, right, these numbers have value, these letters have numeric values to it, and these are the numbers. And this is how you pronounce it. Remember, when you're reading the Bible, right, in the Hebrew, the number 9 isn't written like this. The number 9 is written like this. Right? This is the number 9 in Hebrew. It's the letter ta. But you won't say ta. You would say the shai. You would write ta, but you wouldn't say ta. You would still say the shai. Alright? Alright, let's get the next letter. Now remember also, if I didn't mention it before, we're only going to go through the alphabet today. Alright? Well, like I said, if we have time towards the end of class, this is part 1. All right, this is part 1. So we're really just we're going to get through the alphabet for sure. I don't see us not getting through the alphabet. So we're going to get through the alphabet for sure. But part 1 is getting through the alphabet. All right, getting through the entire alphabet from A to Tha. Because part 2 is going to get a little advanced. There's going to be some math being done. All right, but everything's going to make sense at the end. And it's nothing hard either. All right, it's nothing hard either. Alright, what we have next on the board is your Ya. This is your Ya. Alright, the letter Ya. So this is the letter Ya right here. Ya. Okay, Ya. Ya. The Ya has a numeric value of the number 10. So your Ya has a numeric value of the number 10. Alright, your Ya has a numeric value of the number 10. Alright, to say the number 10 in Hebrew is Aishara. 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 Alright, Aishara. Aishara, which is the number 10. This is your I, your Sha, and your Ra in your Syria. This is your I, your Sha, and your Ra in the Paleo, which is the number 10. Aishara. So to say the number 10 is Aishara. Aishara. Aishara is how you would say the number 10. Alright? Aishara. Everybody understand? Aishara. Alright, let's get it. Aishara. Alright, let's get it. Alright, next we got, next what we have is the letter Ka. Right, what we have next is the letter Ka. Now, you're wondering, right? Now you're wondering, okay, we were just on the number 10. So how do we get How do we get to the number 20? Well, let me make sense of it. Alright? I'll make sense of it in a bit. Alright? I'll make sense of it in a bit. Alright, so let me explain. So what we have next on the board is your ka. Alright, your ka. The letter ka has a numeric value. So this is your ka in the Syrian. Pronounce as ka. Your ka has a numeric value of the number 20. Now, the reason why it skips, because, the reason why it skips to 20, because in order to get 11 through 19, you have to do math. That's just to sum it up, right? So to really just give you the basic answer, the reason why Ya is the number 10 and Ka is the number 20, because in order to get 11, to get from 11 to 19, you have to use math. You have to use addition. Specifically, you would have to use addition. Alright? So, how you would pronounce this, right? Ka has numeric value of the number 20. The number 20 is Aisharayim. Aishara. So like Aishara is the number 10. Aisharayim is the number 20. Aisharayim is the number 20. This is your I, your Sha, your Ra, your Ya, and your Ma. In the Assyrian, this is your I, your Sha, your Ra, and your Ya, and your Ma. Alright? In the Paleo, 20, Asharayim. Now, how did we get Asharayim to be 20? If Aishara is the number 10, well, how did we get Asharayim as the number 20? There's a rule. There's a little rule here. Alright? A quick rule. I'm gonna erase this on the board because I'm gonna need the whole board for the rule. Alright? I'm gonna give you guys an example. Alright. I'm going to give you guys a quick example. So your Aishara. Your Aishara equals 10. Alright. Your Aisharayim Asharayim equals 20. Alright, hopefully you got, so pay very close attention. So your Aishara, alright, your Aishara has a value of the number, Aishara is the number 10. Asherayim is the number 20. Alright? You see this yum right here? Alright? You see that yum right there? That yum. That yam. Alright? Yam in Hebrew. Alright? Means more than one, or plural. So, you guys can see the board now. Ya'ishara is the number 10. Ya'isharayim is the number 20. Alright, you see that yum right there? That yum means, or that yum equals more than one or plural. Alright, so the yum means more than one or plural. Alright, it means more than one or plural. It depends on how it's used. Yum is just letting you know that there's just more than one. Alright, yum is used to pluralize words. Now in this case we're talking about numbers. So yum in this case, alright, yum in this case is your multiplier. Alright. Alright. So your yum is your multiplier. Yum means to multiply. Alright, so that yum, right, is your multiplier. Is letting you know that you're multiplying something. Alright, it lets you know that you're multiplying something. Alright, so for an example, what we have on the board, your Aishara is 10. So you have Aishara, right? Now remember, Aishara is 10. So, okay, put it this way. So if your yum equals, which is your multiply, right? Is your multiply, yum equals 10. Alright, here we go. Here's the math portion. So if your yum is your multiplier, your yum equals 10. Right? Your yum is your 10. Okay? Yum is your 10. Right? Your yum is your 10. 10 is your root number. Alright? Yum is your root number. So 10 is your root number. So yum is 10. Right? Your yum is your 10. 10 is your root number. Now let me break it down to you. If 10 is your root number, alright? Specifically in this case, you have the Aishara. Which is 10. Right? Which is 10. So your Aishara is your 10. Now we need another 10. Alright? So we need another 10 in order to get 20. Right? So how many 10s we have here? Anybody online, how many 10s we have here? We need to get to 20. So how many 10s do we have here online? How many 10s do we have on the board? Now don't worry about what's up here. Worry about what's down here. How many 10s do we have on the board? Anybody know? I can answer, but how many 10s do we have on the board? We have 2 10s. That's correct. Alright. So, alright, remember your yum is your multiplier. Alright? Well, I shouldn't say that, because that would equal 100. Let me get in front of it. Alright? Right, there's 2. There's 2 10s. You multiplied 10 times 2. That's how you got the 20. There's 2 10s. You put that together because there's 2 10s. It's multiplication. There's 2 10s. So if you multiply it, Aishara times those 2 10s, you'll get 20. Right? So when you see Aishara, this is your 10. In order to get 20, you knew that you had to multiply it by 2. Does that make sense to everybody? Khan or La'ah? Aishara is your 10. Your Aishara is your 10. Right? So quickly. Right? Your Aishara is your 10. Your yum lets you know that you have to multiply. We know Asherayim is 20. In order for us to get the number 20, we have to multiply Aishara by 2. Does everybody understand that? Khan or La? Does that make sense? Just let me know. So remember, your yum. Okay, la'ah. Okay, no sweat. I'll explain it. I'll put it, maybe this will be easy. Your yum is letting you know that there's more than one. So your yum, there's more than one. It's letting you know that there's more than one. Aishara is how you say the number 10 in Hebrew. So Aishara is the number 10. Asherayim together is the number 20. So how did we get the number 20? We knew that we had to multiply 10 times 2 to get that 20. Alright? It'll make sense when we get the next number. Alright, we're gonna get the next number on the board. Alright, we're gonna get the next letter on the board. Alright? So it'll make sense. But just know your yum is like your multiplier. Your yum is telling you to multiply. Alright? Your yum is letting you know to multiply. We know that Aishara, in order to get the number 20, we had to multiply Aishara, which is the number 10, by 2 to get 20. That's why it's Asherayim. It's letting you know that you did 10 times 2, which got you 20. That's Asherayim. Alright? Does that kind of make sense? Asherayim. That's 20. 10 times 2 is 20. Aishara and that yum put together, Asherayim is 20. That yum allows you to know, it pretty much lets you know to multiply 10 times 2. It'll make sense in a bit. It'll make sense in a bit. Let's get the next letter. I'll bring it home for anyone that may not understand. Alright? Like I said, this is why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were such a smart people. Within our own culture, within our language, we have math. It's like, it's damn near in our DNA. Like there's no shock that a sister got America to the moon. That's not shocking, right? It's in our DNA. It's not shocking for us to be the first one to make the street lights, or to make the car, or to make the refrigerator. That's not shocking. It's in our DNA to know math. it's really dang near in our DNA. All right, go ahead, princess.
Look what Noah did to it. He broke his mouth.
Okay, I'll fix it later. Okay.
I don't know how to fix it.
All right, I'm in class. Go ahead. So now, so let's get the next one. We're gonna get the next letter.
I'm fine. Play with something else nicer. This one is a little small. You okay with? Can it cost?
Alright, so what we have on the board next, alright, so what we have on the board next is your la. So the letter we have on the board is your la. So this is your la in the Syrian. This is your la in the English. Your la has a numeric value of the number 30. So the letter la in the Hebrew has a numeric value of the number 30. To say the number 30 in Hebrew is shalashim. Shalashim, which is 30. This is your sha, your la, your sha, your ya, your ma in the Syrian. This is your sha, your la, your sha, your ya, and your ma in the Paleo. For class purposes, I'm going to put it down right here. Alright? So that's to pronounce, so your la, the letter la in the Hebrew has a numeric value of the number 30. Alright, so your la has a numeric value of the number 30. To say the number 30 in Hebrew is shalashim. Alright, shalashim. Alright, shalashim. Now here we go. Okay, the Aklaf gets it now. Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. So now, shalashim. Now, to break it down for anyone else, all right. Right, this is where it's bringing it home. Right now, I knew this is what was going to bring everybody home. Shalashim. All right, shalashim. Most High in Christ. So now, shalashim is the numeric value number 30. All right, this rule applies. All right, this rule applies from 3 to 9. The same rule applies from 3 to 9. Alright? So from 3 to 9, the same rule applies. I'm going to break it down one more time with using shalash. Alright? Shalashim is 30. Shalashim is 30. Alright? Shalash in the Hebrew is your number 3. Alright? So your shalash in the Hebrew is your number 3. Right? Your yum is your multiply. So your yum, right? Your yum is your multiplier. Right? What's our root number? What's the root number in your multiplier? Does anybody know what's the root number in your multiplier? 10.
Calm down, okay? Calm down.
You multiply it, you get 30. Alright? Your root number is your yum. Your root number in yum is 10. So 3 times 10 is 30. Right? Most High in Christ. You see that shalash? It's letting you know that you have 3 tens. Right? This is equal to 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30. Alright? Makes sense? It's equal to 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30. So Ishara, 30. Alright? The reason why your yum, Isharayim is 20, because it starts here. And that's your 20. That's your Isharayim. Alright? This is exactly how you, right, kind of a concept. This is how we learned math. We learned math at the same time that we learned our language. That's what made us so smart. That's what made us dang near above all the races. Alright? Because within our own language, within our own culture, this is your math. This is how you learn it right here. Alright? So let's get it. This rule applies, alright, for majority of the numbers in Hebrew. Alright? Right, Khan, that's true. With the beads. Alright. Let's get the next letter. Alright, same concept. Alright? So now we have the letter Ma. Now the letter Ma in the Hebrew has a numeric value of the number 40. So the letter Ma has a numeric value of the number 40. Alright? To say 40 is Arabai. Remember, Arabai is the number 4, your yum is the multiplier. This is how you get 40. Alright? This is just the multiplication portion in our language. There's an addition part in our language too. But we'll get there. Alright? Arabayim, 40. This is your I, your Ra, your Ba, your I, your Ya, and your Ma. 40. This is your I, your Ra, your Ba, your I, your Ya, and your Ma. The Paleo, Arabayim. 40. All right. All right. So this is Arabayim. All right, this is your Arabayim, the number 40. All right, Arabayim. This is how you would say the number 40. Now remember, all right, to get from 11 to 19, it takes addition to get there. All right, so you're wondering, why did we jump from 10 to 20, 30, and 40? Because it takes addition to get from 11 to 19. It takes addition to get 21 through 29. It takes addition to get 31 through 39. It takes addition to get 41 through 49. It takes addition to get there. All right. Based off of this, you can kind of see what kind of addition you would need to use. All right. This is very easy. All right. Like, you're wondering why we were able to make refrigerators and make cars and engines and street lights and get our people to the moon. It's in our DNA. We knew the basics of algebra by the time we were 5. You get that? You get the point? Like, as Israelites, we understood the concept of algebra by the time we were 5 years old. At 5 years old, you know your ABCs, right? You know A, B, C, D, and you know your 1, 2, 3s. Well, in our culture, if you understand the Hebrew well enough, you'll have your children knowing algebra and knowing math by 5 or 6 years old. It's not hard. It's not a hard concept. And what I mean by that, I mean by the portion of messing with variables. Because think about it. Your ma is a letter. That's a variable in algebra. That's a variable. When a letter has a numeric value to it, that's a variable, right? That's a variable in math. I don't know if you guys, I know you guys knew that and know that. That's a variable. Well, that's in our language. We have variables in our language. All right, our letters have numeric values. All right, we'll continue this in next week's class in part 2. We don't have too much. Was it nah? Yeah, nah, sa, I, fa, za. Yeah, so we don't have too many left after this, and then we're going to get into the addition portion, and then recognizing the numbers, or so to speak, the letters within the Bible as well. All right. So this is just part 1. Part 2 will be next week. All right. Okay, I got a Sabbath service meeting to attend to. All right. All right. So with that, I say amani, which means to stand. Where's that cat? All right. Amani, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give a crazy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Aymadim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Brakatah, Yadim Matah, Sarah Arakian, turn to the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give a crazy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Aymadim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alatah Ba'ashem Yahushua, Yadim Matah. With that, class dismissed.